So the next pasta dish we're gonna make today is my version of a pasta primavera. And the pasta primavera uses fresh green vegetables of the season. So today, I've got some very fresh curly parsley here that I'm gonna chop up for you. I've also got some baby spinach and some lovely spring peas. Okay, these peas are just ones that I've IQF'd, and I'm just thawing them out because we want them to be as green as possible. So we have to work very quickly, or else they'll turn an unsightly army green and it will be very unappealing to your guests. I'm still using that quinoa-based pasta because it's a lovely product, and I'm doing it in heavily salted water because it's our only chance to season the pasta. Remember, we're looking for that al dente or to-the-bite texture here. And while that's cooking, we're actually going to build our sauce. So to start this sauce, while our pasta is boiling, we just need one frying pan. We're gonna turn that on to a medium heat. We're going to add our extra virgin olive oil into the pan. We're gonna use just a little over a tablespoon. We're gonna let that come to temperature. While that's coming to temperature, we're going to take 1 clove of garlic, and using my trusty mincing tool called a microplane, we're going to mince that garlic and release all of the juice and oil from that garlic and add it to our extra virgin olive oil. Simply just taking that and scraping it down here. A microplane is just a really fine version of a cheese grater. If you don't have a microplane at home and you have a box grater, you'll notice on one side of it the holes are very, very tiny. That's for grating things like Parmesan cheese or doing a really fine grate. That also works well to mince your garlic. And just with one tap, you see we've released all the juice and we very finely minced that garlic to maximize the flavor in the dish. And with one motion of your knife, you're just gonna pick up all that lovely garlic and you're gonna add that into your olive oil. It's gonna start to sizzle, so now we're gonna have to start to work quickly. We're just gonna give it a little turn around here, break it all up, and start releasing its aroma into that oil. Okay, we don't want this garlic to burn, so as soon as we've extracted the flavor, all we want to do is just turn that off for a moment while we prep the rest of our dish. We're just going to bravely pick up one of those noodles, and again, we're just going to taste. It should be just a little bit raw in the middle because you want it to finish cooking in your sauce. We do not want to rinse our pasta under cold water, so we're just going to drain it off, preserving just a little bit of that water inside there. We're going to move on to our other ingredients. Right here, I have some fresh parsley. You want to examine it because a lot of times in your parsley, you've got little yellow leaves in there. Those ones are bitter and old and they're not going to lend a good flavor to your dish. You want to discard those. So we're just going to pick through and pick those out. And because we want this parsley to stay nice and green, we're not going to chop it fine. We're just going to kind of bunch it up, get it into a nice little workable area, and with your knuckles facing out and using the knife to guide along, you're just gonna slice that parsley. Now we can start building our sauce. So back onto the heat, we're gonna work on a low heat now so that we don't burn that garlic and we just warm the oil and we're warming those flavors together and we're not going to burn or overcook our green vegetables. In go our peas, in goes our spinach. We're just gonna let that wilt for just a second. Once your spinach is nicely wilted like that, we're just going to add in our pasta and that little bit of residual water. And the final trick, 1 lemon. We're gonna use both sides of this lemon today, the outside and the inside. And we're gonna take it, using our microplane, we're just gonna get some of the zest of that lemon right in the pasta. You want the zest of about half of the lemon. We don't want all of the zest. We just want some of the fragrant oils from the zest to flavor our green vegetables and complement the garlic. Taking that same lemon, cutting it in half, making sure we don't have any seeds in there. And just to ensure that we don't have any seeds, we're holding our hand over the pan and we're squeezing that lemon juice right inside. We're just gonna give that a moment to come together. And we're going to raise the heat just for a moment so that we can reduce that little sauce that we've made in the pan and have it coat everything nicely. We're just going to add a little more seasoning. So we're just going to add a teaspoon of salt in there and a teaspoon of pepper. just to taste, just to round out all those flavors. And as you can see, as we turn up the heat in our final stage, our bubbles are starting to get thick. We're reducing that sauce. The pasta water is cooking into everything, and all of that flavor is working together. At this moment, we're going to turn off the heat, and we are going to finish with our fresh parsley. We do not want to take away from the fresh aroma that parsley will give, so we have to add it last second, right before we go to the plate. Making sure we get all that goodness out of that pan, all that sauce we just built so much to work. And there you have it, pasta primavera with baby spinach and spring peas and just a hint of fresh lemon. Super fresh, ready in 15 minutes. Enjoy, folks.